Hi, this is a post view of the notes. We're just going to go over the notes. So you'll see on this side, this is a drawing of the digestive system as a tube, and that's the big idea here. The digestive system is a tube with two openings, a mouth and an anus, and the food flows through here and gets processed by the body. Now, it's a super long tube. We say it's 30 feet long. So the only way the food's going to make it down there is if there's little muscle contractions pushing it down, and we call those peristalsis. Okay? Peristalsis, the muscle contractions that push food down the tube. Now, why do we even bother putting it in the tube? The reason we do that is we want to make food really small. It has to be small enough to get into cells. So the way we do that is we take a piece of food and we grind it up with our teeth. That's called mechanical digestion. When we grind it up with our teeth, basically smash it together and grind it into little bits. And then we mix it with all the liquids in the digestive system and we break it up even more. And that's called chemical digestion, right, which we have here. We call it CD, or chemical digestion, where we break it into molecules. So the big question is, where do these things happen, right? So in the mouth, we know the teeth are there, so that's mechanical, mostly grinding up the food. But there is a little bit of chemical, because saliva has some chemicals for digestion. The esophagus does nothing in terms of digestion. It just passes the food down. Once it gets in the stomach, though, it stays there for 5 hours. And there's a lot of chemicals in there, one of them being acid, and it breaks the food up into some smaller molecules. And that stuff is called chyme. It's basically like a soup. From that point, it squirts into the small intestine, where it's broken down even further by chemical digestion into molecules. And those molecules then are absorbed out of the digestive tube at this point into the blood. That's very important, because if the food just went out the body, it wouldn't really do much for the body. So you have to have it get out of the tube into the body, and that's what happens in the small intestine. Now, the liquidy, waste, or the stuff that's left over is kind of waste, but it's all liquidy, and we don't want to dehydrate ourselves, so we have to extract the water out of the tube back into our body so we don't have to keep drinking all the time. So water is absorbed by the large intestine here. So that's what's absorbed, and basically those are the two main things. Small intestine takes out food, large intestine takes out water, and there's a little bit of things happening in the stomach in terms of absorption, but it's really not that important. It's really these two are the places where absorption happens.